What is up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're playing some Clash Royale. I'm going to be doing a deck guide of my Logbait deck with a classic twist. It is the Logbait with Log, Princess, Goblin Gang, Knight, Fire Spirit, Goblin Barrel, Rocket, and Inferno Tower. That is the primary deck I'm currently using, but I'm also using a subordinate deck, which is this one. Just a little bit different. I have the Zap in there instead of the Log, and I have a Skeleton Army instead of the Knight. So I'll be going through the benefits and the downsides of each deck as soon as I go into battle here. But before that, let's do an individual deck guide of exactly what each card offers. So, well, the Log, does it really need an introduction? It is the most versatile card in the deck. It does a lot of damage to mini tanks. It can like 30% on Wizard. It can get rid of all of the witch's skeletons. It's very good. And on top of that, its main purpose is to kill hordes. So Princess, Goblin Gang, Skeleton Army, Goblin Barrel, Guards, anything where there's more than one, the Log is your best call. It's pretty much the reason why it's in the deck instead of Zap is pretty much the Goblin Barrel. It's the one thing where the Zap can't do it because the Log one-taps goblins, but the Zap does not one-tap goblins. So the next card, the Princess, it's kind of similar. You can't always have one card to deal with the hordes. What the Princess does, it can be used to deal with hordes as shown on screen here, like the Skeleton Army, but it can also be used to damage down mini tanks or subordinate cards like the Wizard, the Witch. So Princess Behind the Tower is really good, and it's also a card that you can just play without having to worry about anything. The Goblin Gang, well, this is actually the only horde I have in this deck, and the reason why is because it deals with the tanks. So any tank that has like Giant, Prince, Hog Rider, stuff like that, when I can't use my Inferno Tower, that is when I want to be using the Goblin Gang. It is an incredible card. It's overall just great. The benefits against the Skeleton Army is that it can't be zapped, and also it has the Spear Globs to deal with air troops. So the next card is the Knight. This is the only tank in the deck. It can be used for dealing damage. So sometimes I do like a Goblin Barrel and Knight push, which is really good because the Knight soaks up all the damage. Or I can use it like when they do like a giant Wizard push, I can use it with the Wizard to get rid of the Wizard, and then I can place my Goblin Gang down. So it's just an like overall really good card. It has a lot of health. It can deal with pretty much anything as well as hordes because it hits really fast. So that's the Knight. The Fire Spirit. Now this is a card not many people have in their deck, and I think it's a really good card. The main thing is, not as you saw on the screen just then, but the Fire Spirit actually one taps a Goblin Gang on spawn. So if the Goblin Gang is spawning, and or the Fire Spirit is like near it while it's spawning, the Fire Spirit will one tap it. So it's like rage quit. 3 elixir for 1 elixir. I have seen some people defend their tower with a Goblin Gang when I put a Fire Spirit down. That's like the worst defense. It's a card that not many people know how to defend against after it became 1 elixir. And also, as you can see on the screen, Minion Horde, it's good for Witch, it's good for pretty much any like mini horde. So not big hordes like Skeleton Army, even though it can be used for Skeleton Army, but it really thrives against mini hordes and mini tanks. So Goblin Gang, or does it really need an introduction as well? It's the only damage dealer in the deck. So pretty much the goblins do get 2 shot by the tower. But that's if the same level. If it's 1 level up, they get 3 shot. So Goblin Barrel can actually do a lot of damage. It's obviously going to be defended. You don't want it being defended by Log or Zap because those are the primary cards. But Zap, if you have a max level Goblin Barrel, you will still get some damage. The thing is with Barbarian Barrel, as you're seeing on the screen right now, the Barbarian Barrel does one tap the Goblin Barrel if you do it like this. But if you know the opponent has a Barbarian Barrel, you can do the Goblin Barrel to the left or to the right. That will greatly benefit you because pretty much like doing it to the left or the right just doesn't get one tap by the Barbarian Barrel and they might miss. So that's Goblin Barrel. The Rocket, it's used for defeating, like, I like to call them dumb pushes. So pretty much when they have like mini tanks or subordinate cards like Wizard and Witch, just rocket it. Same when you have like too much elixir and they put like Witch at the back, you can just rocket the corner of the tower as you're seeing here. So something like that. But obviously you don't want a balloon next. So rockets also used at the end of a game when you know like the tower's on like 600 HP and you just need to close it out, get that one tower. That's what the rocket's good for. And the last card's Inferno Tower. Pretty much any tank, any mini tank, whenever you have the elixir, you want Inferno Tower and like some card to back it up. So a classic combo with Inferno Tower is Inferno Tower to take out the tank and then like Knight to take out the Wizard. And as soon as the Wizard's gone, maybe they play like Executioner so I can play my Goblin down. Now let's quickly go over the other deck. So this one doesn't have a tank, but pretty much Wizard, Executioner, cards where I could use my Knight, I'll use my Skeleton Army. You can use this to surround the Wizard, surround the Executioner. It can also be used on like Prince and stuff, so that's good. Also, this deck is more of a log deck than the other one because log. Some people log this, but 3 cards to be logged, and then I do my Goblin Barrel. So like, even if they have 2 spells or 3 spells, which is very, very uncommon, I can still get my Goblin Barrel down. This one, it's just log and log, but like, some people may have 2 spells. So that's about that. And the Zap, so pretty much the main thing about the Zap is it can be used on Minion Horde, and it can be used to stop things like, say a Hog Rider is attacking my tower, and I wanted to switch to the Inferno Tower, I zap the Hog Rider. Same with like other stuff to actually slow it down. Well, the log does actually push it back. If something is locked on, it's most likely not going to switch attacking. So like if there's like a mini picker at my tower and there's a skeleton army around it, logging it might not do like what I needed to do, but the zap would definitely do what I needed to do. So that's pretty much the deck. Let's go through some interactions. So I'll hop in with deck 2. So this is the primary deck. I'll go straight into battle and you'll see some instructions and I'll give full commentary on what's happening. Give him a bit of good luck. So pretty much I have Gobgang, Rocket, Knight, and Log. I'll start with the Knight at the back because it's a pretty safe card to play at the start. So he just wasted 1 elixir there. That's really good for me. Is that a second elixir? No. So he plays his Ice Wizard. I'm going to Goblin Barrel the other tower pretty much because I don't want the Ice Wizard doing damage to both the Goblin and the Knight. But as you can see, Valkyrie he has used. Valkyrie's a really hard gut, so I'm just going to play Goblin Gang safe at the back. So I'm getting my Inferno Tower ready because I know he might be pushing something. And I can also sense that it might be a Hog Rider because he has, oh, okay, so it's a Prince. So I'll just put the Prince in. Hopefully it drags the Valkyrie, but it does not at this stage. So I might have to soak some damage there, but what I'm pretty much trying to do is deflect the Prince as much as I can. As you can see, the Princess has done a lot of damage and it's still alive. So that's why playing the Princess at the back is really useful. So overall, in that battle, I think I gained a bit of elixir. I'm not entirely sure, but we pretty much have the same amount of damage on the left towers. So he places minions. I'm going to ignore those, but I'm going to have to deal with that. Ooh, okay, that's a tough one. So Goblin Barrel, just to like deflect his push, make sure he's stopping to push, and that can't be good. Okay, so that guy getting to tower is really bad for this deck. But pretty much what I know is I'm going to get some elixir, but he's going to do a lot of damage by the time he goes. Yeah, so down to 1000, but now I know I can push the other tower. So he probably has Valkyrie ready, so I'm going to Goblin at the right tower, because he's going to place so Valkyrie at the front, but the Goblin Brothers will do some damage, but clearly not enough, right? So this is a game where like I have to kind of change up my deck play, but pretty much that Elixir Golem is really bad because this entire deck is about conserving Elixir and making sure he has none. So if I spread out the top just to make the Valkyrie move out of the way a bit, and then I play Knight. So yeah, so Elixir Golem, all I need to do is play smart. So pretty much have as much Elixir because it's kind of like a loan of Elixir. I use more now, I get more later, but you don't really have that normally in a deck like this. So I just need to go for that 1 tower as of now. But I will start doing some damage on the other tower, just making him a little bit more worried than he currently is. Place Inferno Tower there to make sure my King Tower gets hits on it. And I'll need to worry about that Valkyrie. So I'll place my Goblin up there to distract. Okay, so it didn't distract the Valkyrie, but he does have a Goblin Barrel. That's where my log comes in. If I had a Zap, that would be really bad right now. But luckily, I do not have Zap in this deck. So Knight Goblin Barrel, this is a push that the Knight takes up all the damage. Hopefully the Knight, okay, so the Ice Wizard hits it as well. And I'm going to rocket that. Hopefully the rocket hits all of those troops. Okay, not all. I have 17 seconds, so that's not a lot of time. And all I'm going to try and do now is cycle back to my rocket. Okay, so I don't have time to cycle to rocket, so I'm going to go with a Golden Barrel. And if those guys get 2 hits each, then I should be good. So I'm not good. Okay, so it was a pretty close game. Overall, pretty unfortunate at the end. But as you saw, the way I played it is the Valkyrie is what I want to avoid with my Golden Barrel and my Goblin Gang. But the Elixir Golem is what pretty much like changed up the deck play. And I didn't recognize that at the start. That's why I lost the tower, and that's why I lost the game. But now let's go into another game with the same deck, okay? So hopefully we have a tank we're going to play against because that will show you what this deck can really do. It thrives against tanks with minimalistic pushes. Thanks. Play Knight at the back again. I have a very similar hand, or maybe the exact same hand as last game. It's quite interesting. He plays Knight at the back as well, so maybe we're wasting a another Logbait. I play Goblin Barrel, he's okay. Barbarian Hut, I need to rock that as fast as possible. Pretty much, the Barbarian's gonna keep coming, so the Princess will hopefully, oh no. Okay, that's no good. That's gonna take my tower. Okay, so that did take my tower. I was completely unprepared, but as you can see, yeah, okay. What I could have alternatively done is pushed on the other side because he had obviously had no elixir, but as I defended, I had no elixir as well, as you saw that. So that's just unfortunate. What I'm going to try and do is capitalize on a push on the right side here. I can still bring this back. It's just that now I know what he has, so he doesn't have the element of surprise anymore. And okay, so that's down to 1177. I'm going to place Princess here so it stays out of the range, but I need to keep this like active there. Because, well, now he has like the corner activated, he can place whatever. Yep, exactly. So that goes up there and that goes there. So pretty much I place it up a bit so to distract the executioner as well. But as you saw the knight just then, it did quite a bit of damage and also it soaked up some damage. So not all what I would have hoped, but you know, enough is enough. So pretty much what I'm thinking of doing is just Goblin Barrel. And I would back that up with a Fire Spirit, but I didn't have it in my hand at the time. So I'm going to need to rocket that. So my guess is he didn't have much elixir at that time, but maybe he e-barbs again, because that's my mistake last time. I played the rocket with no elixir on hand. But this time I do have elixir on hand. And what I don't want to go for is go for that right tower, because pretty much if I go for that right tower, then the king tower's activated and I can't go for the left tower as well as I would have liked. So hopefully the princess doesn't hit it. Okay, it hit it. So that does allow me to get the knight down up there to kill the wizard. I can get that down there. And he places e-barb, so I'm going to get the fire spirit down, one tap him, or one tap them. Okay, so e-barb gets 2 hits in my tower, but that's alright. So pretty much what I want to do is God Barrel and place the knight at the right moment so both the towers hit it. Yeah, so God Barrel is undamaged by the tower, so he has to place the execution. If that wasn't there, I'd be getting a lot more damage. But I'm actually not going to destroy that barb hut because it's going for the left side, not the right side. But I will place troops, so I'm not going to rocket it because I want my rocket for the E-barbs. Actually, I might. Okay, so Mega Knight is what he had as his wild card. But as you can see, I have gotten some damage over there because he had to play as Mega Knight. But what I'm worried about right now is this push here, because that's a pretty hefty push. Luckily, I had rocket. Yep, so that's what I was waiting for. I didn't rocket it earlier because I thought he might play E-bubs, but lucky for me, he played E-bubs on top of his already active push, which I can, okay. So I have to play smart here. I'm actually do Inferno Tower to get rid of that Barbar. And Goblin Barrel. So that's what I like to call a cheeky play. The Gold Barrel was slightly misplaced, but it's alright. As long as I can defend, I should be able to close this out. I'm thinking of God Game, yep. And get that knight down. He rages, okay. So that wasn't a very smart rage, but it might do a bit of damage, so I'm going to just get that log down, just in case. So all it does is pushes that guy back a bit, and I should be in rocket range now. So if one of those goblins gets a hit, I've won the game. That's it. Good game. That one. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the game there. So as you saw, I did lose the tower early, but all my deck is about is like knowing exactly what's coming and preparing for it much in advance. So as you saw, that one rocket where he had his barbarians from the hut, and then he had his execution, and then he had his e-barbs. I'd say that's a total of 1 for the barbs, execution of 5 e-barbs. That's 12 elixir, and I killed it with my rocket. So that's pretty much, I think, where I won the battle. And after that, the elixir deficit was too big to come back from. Now let's go into a battle with the other deck. So, as you may remember, there is no knight in this deck, there is a zap instead, and a skeleton army instead, so no log, no knight. But it's like half and half. Sometimes this deck is better, sometimes the other deck is better. Most pros actually don't favor the zap, by the way, in Logbait, but I think they're about the same. Okay, I think that's a new card. I personally have no idea how to play it, but I didn't Inferno Tower there. I'm pretty sure it can swap sides like randomly, so I should have played on the other side. That's alright. I don't know its drag radius either, so you played minor. I don't think that's very smart. Maybe he has a horde coming up then. So I'm gonna just do that. Pretty much it's a horde protection. So the Gobgang is like to do the damage, and the Fire Spirit's in case he places Gobgang defensively. But this is really bad. If I had log here, I would pretty much be able to log that, push them back, but I do not have log. So okay, so he has that, and that's gonna do some damage. So what I'm gonna try and do is do some damage as well. When he's doing damage, I'm not defending, and I'll just do damage. Okay, so he has mirror in this deck. That can't be good. So remember when I went over how like Zap can't hit Goblin Barrel? Well, if you have a max one and he has mirror, and even if he doesn't have a max mirror because of the new mirror update, it's not very good. But pretty much what I'm going to try and do is cry because I don't have log in this deck. But no. Okay, so how can I get damage done? He has two zaps in effect, and the second zap is more of an Aris because of its incredible damage. So what can I do? I have to bait everything out. So he was saving up for his Mega Knight there, instead of playing one of his zaps if he had it in a cycle. But what I can see there is he was willing to take some damage to play that Mega Knight. So he must have zap now, so I have to get ready with this. Oh no, that can't be good. So remember Knight, so the Skeleton Army is pretty much the Knight in his deck, and that's exactly how I used it. So he did zap that, but I'm pretty sure my Fire Spirit should get some damage there. Yep, that's good. Okay, so I'm getting closer to the amount of damage that he has done, and hopefully in this double elixir time, I can capitalize on it more than he can. So I'm just rocket that because I have the elixir and he doesn't know what I'm doing. Yep, so just get that damage closer, and he plays that. I'm pretty sure that's a 4 elixir card, but I will just tense him up a bit. So play the opposite. That was very smart. So whenever you're tensing up your opponents, make sure you can defend. Okay, so that was quite smart. He got very tensed up, and I actually got the Inferno Tower down just in time. So that tensing up did pretty well. I want to play for a 2 crown now, not the 1 crown. So what I mean by that is because I've damage on both sides, I'm going to give him a tower if he gives me a tower. What he's going to try and do is not give either of us a tower. So he just wants to go for my right tower, and I want to go for his left tower while giving him my right tower. Goblin Barrel. Now, if I can get one hit from the goblins, then this is game over because I have rocket. Yep, so that's game over. Don't even need the rocket. Good game. Give him a hee 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 ha because he clearly thought he won. But as you know, once I figure out what they have, I know exactly how to play. That's the beauty of this Logbait deck. So even though I didn't have log that time, and log would be preferable, I don't think I even used Zap. So like I just like worked around, knew what I had, knew what he had, and I wasn't thrown off guard. So let's do one more battle with this deck, and then we'll close out the video. So I will be posting more videos and deck guides on this deck, but as you can see now, you know a little bit more how to play it. So he's yawning, okay. So maybe he thinks this is, oh no, I don't like Dark Prince. Dark Prince on Rage is bad because its actual splash range is extended, which is not very good. Okay, he has Fire Spirit as well. He recognizes the power of the Spirit of Fire. But I think I won that duel. I'm not sure on how Elixir is going here, but I think he has more Elixir than me. See when he plays a card, because the smart thing would do is play a card at 8 Elixir, but clearly he didn't. Okay, so we both have the same amount of Elixir, because we both played at the same time. So I'm going to place Inferno Tower, and I might get my Fire Spirit ready if he has something to back it up. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I knew he has another Prince coming, and that's when I'm getting my Skeleton Army down for. So place the Goblin Barrel because now he can't Dark Prince it. My princess, unfortunately, is gone, and he has log. Okay, so what I know now is I need to bait out that log instead of just playing out my Goblin Barrel. I did have a spectator for a brief second. I'm going to place it in the middle. Hopefully they don't deflect. Yeah, so that's good. So what I mean by deflect is hopefully like 2 of the goblins don't run down the left side. That would be the ultimate worst because, well, I just lost 2 goblins, but now he has a prince charging at my tower. I'm gonna get my skeleton army out. Okay, that was good. Now I can use my... Ooh, that was a misplaced goblin barrel, my bad. Oh, okay. So what I know now is I cycle faster than him. That's what pretty much that interaction tells me. But he has a lot more elixir than me right now. Oh, that's no good. Ah, okay. Normally, like I know how to come back from it, but I don't think I can win this game. The primary reason for that is we have 1 minute left, and I've barely touched his tower. So you win some, you lose some. So pretty much, I'm gonna do this. Hope he doesn't have login cycle, and if he does, then we lose. Okay, maybe he does. Okay. Lumberjack double prince. And the prince doesn't stop. Okay. Okay, so what I can try and do is... Does he have a zap as well? What? Oh, I can't even push because he's attacking so hard with the rage down. Oh, maybe I do get an opportunity to push now. Oh, my towers are really low. But oh, here it is. Okay, so unfortunate there. I did play it right. I couldn't have played that better because pretty much he had the deck that like beat me. The lumberjack was a wild card there because every time he played it, I got caught off guard with the counter push or the double push. So that's unfortunate. But I'll see you guys in the next video, where I'm actually going to go over my war deck. So just to preview into the next video, these are my war decks. So this is a it's kind of a Logbait, but it doesn't have it doesn't have rocket. So instead, it has both of these two cards, so Skeleton Army and Knight. So I'll go over why I have that. My next deck is this one with the new the Valkyrie skin or like card cover. It's a pretty good deck. They're all like medium to cheap cards. I can cycle pretty fast. This deck, it's kind of like the first battle deck. It's my deck 3, but it's around the same skill level as my deck 2. Pretty much what this deck is like I don't play this card, the Ebarbs, until the very end. I pretty much just show him like a Lumberjack, Giant, and like all of these ones. Snowball because I can't use another spell in there. But pretty much at the end, I do like a well, what I try to do is I like fake a push on one side, and then I do Lumberjack, E-Barbs, Snowball, or this guy on the other side, and that should be an easy tower as you saw in that game I played. And the last deck, this is my the wild card. It's my deck 4. Pretty much most people's decks 4, you can't like build a legit deck, so this is like a do or die. How it works is this is to get rid of the hordes. This is to get rid of tanks. Cheap cards to cycle. This to get a bit of like no, not splash, chip damage, and these two as like a push with Tornado. So not going to use Tornado until the end. I'll just keep defending at the start, and once it hits double elixir, play like this at the back, this at the back, and once I get to the bridge, he's going to be like, ooh, mini pecker in the middle, and I'll be like, Tornado to the tower, boom, 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 and the Sparky just locks on, you know. So it does actually require a lot of skill. I'm not skilled enough to do the Tornado on time every time, but I do win like a third of my battles with this deck. It is my deck 4, so that makes sense. So that sums up today's battles. Is as you can see, my profile is it's pretty like medium, but I do have a lot of experience playing many different decks. Brief history into my past as a Clash Royale player. I used to play a Lumberjack deck. The Lumberjack was the first legendary I ever unboxed when I was in Arena 7. Lumberjack was also the second legendary I ever unboxed. Is really sad because getting the same legendary twice. I did have a level 2 Lumberjack, that's why I played it. But back then, not many people had legendaries. Before that, I played I played like a lava loon, but without the lava, just like a loon, but with a tank in front of it. It was a ground tank, though, so it's kind of different. But pretty much, I've used like one of these decks for a really long time now. Since about 2018, I've used Logbait. Before that, I had Logbait, but as soon as the Mega Knight came out in 2017, I capitalized on the new card being really, really strong, and I pushed from 3,000 to 3,800. That was the first time I hit Legendary. I have been legendary ever since, and I actually pushed the legendary in like 2 days. Before that, I was in jungle when jungle came out, and I got to Hog Mountain. So my best season is 6049, but I think my highest strip is a bit higher, 6111. So I hit that about a year ago, half, 3/4 of a year ago. So I haven't really pushed since then because every season like things reset. I'm not really a collector of badges, but I did used to be a collector of the other things. I don't know where they went. Maybe they just converted themselves into badges, like these things. Okay. Oh yeah, 5 years played. So I've had played for 5 years. I got the game in 2016, I think, towards the end. And yeah, so that's about it. So that's my profile. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe this YouTube video. And check out all my other ones. I will be posting more Clash Royale videos in the near future, and even in the future after that, the far future. So hope you enjoyed this and extremely exciting and entertaining Clash Royale deck guide, and stay tuned for my war deck guide that will be coming up in the near future. Adios amigos, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, and goodbye.